Now, this final clip is arguably the worst part of this entire interview because it exposes not only that Democrats don't care about associating with child predators, but they also don't care about the concept of democracy, the thing they claim they're trying to save from Donald Trump. Take a look.
There was a resolution rebuking Congressman Chuy Garcia. He had timed the announcement of his retirement shortly after the state's filing deadline, and that was after his chief of staff had declared her own candidacy for that position, basically leaving her as the only Democrat able to run for that seat. There are 23 Democrats who joined Republicans on the disapproval resolution. You urged members to oppose it. How come?
I think that it's an issue to be worked out by the people back in the great state of Illinois. Chuy Garcia has been a consistent progressive champion for the disenfranchised, a voice for the voiceless. He's done a lot of good. And I think that it was a resolution of disapproval that I did not support, that there are a lot of issues, I think, of importance to the American people, including the failed Trump economy, the Trump tariffs that are crushing people, the Republican health care crisis, the refusal by my Republican colleagues to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits, the fact that that is going to result in tens of millions of people experiencing dramatically increased premiums, copays, and deductibles. People are going to be unable to go and afford to see a doctor when they need one. There are a whole host of issues that the American people just made clear 2 weeks ago during the general election that they want to see addressed. It's the reason why Republicans were decisively defeated across the country and up and down the ballot, and yet we continue to come to the floor of the House of Representatives and they play partisan political games as opposed to dealing with the issues that matter relative to driving down the high cost of living and making life better for the American people.
I think it's fair to say there's bigger issues people care about, but even some Democrats have said this is why people don't like politics. This is slimy, and it disenfranchises voters by not letting them pick who they want to be running in that race. Did they have a point?
I think they can speak for themselves, and certainly, my view on the situation was that there are things that we should be focused on in terms of solving problems for the American people, that the American people just decisively told us 2 weeks ago during the general election they wanted us to work on.
Now, I want you to run that clip back and look at two things. Number one, the huge pool of sweat that starts building on the side of Hakeem Jeffries' face. He is clearly feeling the heat, no pun intended. And the second thing is look at the disbelief and disgust on the host's face as she realizes Hakeem Jeffries is the most immoral, despicable, partisan person on planet Earth. He is proving that the Democrats are the most unscrupulous people in this country who will excuse any and all behavior so long as you're doing it in the name of furthering the Democrat agenda. For context, Chuy Garcia is a representative from Illinois. He said he was going to run in 2026, so no Democrat signed up to primary him, except for his chief of staff, who secretly and connivingly submitted the paperwork to be on the Democrat ballot. And once the deadline had passed for registration, Chuy Garcia announces that he's not going to be seeking re-election. And so his chief of staff is automatically the Democrat Party candidate in a deep blue district with no chance of a Republican winning, essentially bypassing the entire Democratic process and naming an heir. At least when Kamala Harris was anointed, she still had to run against Donald Trump. So much for preserving free and fair elections, which was their altruistic slogan as they further disenfranchised millions of Republican voters in California in their mass gerrymandering effort. If there was even a shred of evidence that incriminated Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein would have released that information on his own volition through one of the many Democrats he was colluding with in 2015 or 2016. But instead, all the files revealed was throughout Donald Trump's first presidency. Epstein was colluding with the entire Democrat establishment to figure out how to stretch and distort the truth to try and make it seem like Donald Trump was a participant on his island. The Democrats have already declared that now that Donald Trump all of a sudden wants the files to be released, they can't be trusted. They've been scrubbed. Because to them, it doesn't matter who's in there or what's in there. If Donald Trump is not implicated, they won't be satisfied. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Turn on those notification bells so you never miss a video. And I will see you guys in the next one.